Ever wondered why your favorite artists are breaking away from platforms like Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, and Patreon to start their own thing and reach fans directly? Well, in this video, we're going to break down the why and also show you the how. It's a part of a larger industry trend of artists really just trying to get closer to their fans, know them, and being able to reach them directly on their own terms. So let's get into it. Starting with a little history, if you're not familiar, Patreon has been a go-to for musicians looking to build a membership community and get support directly from their audience, probably for the better half of the last decade. And don't get me wrong, it's been a great tool for a lot of artists. In many ways, it's helped push the agenda or maybe even introduce it. The idea of moving fans off platform to super serve them with exclusive content in exchange for some of their support. But as the model of that relationship has evolved, the limitations of Patreon honestly have been quite clear for artists and creators looking to reach their fans directly and just monetize apart from platforms. For one thing, Patreon is still a third-party platform. This means artists don't truly own their audience data and fan relationships. They're still at the mercy of Patreon's features and policies, which can really impact their visibility, their income, or just squash it altogether. And while Patreon does offer some cool perks like exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, it still can be really tough to customize the fan experience. On top of that, artists at scale have different platforms in place already. They have their social media, they have their website, they have their online store, and now they have Patreon. This just makes it a lot harder for artists to manage all of these different platforms and, more importantly, keep their fan data and relationships in different places. This is exactly why we're seeing tons of artists move away from social media and away from platforms like Patreon to spin up their own online store or hub for fans that they 100% own and control. Take the band Softspoken, for example. They recently shifted their membership program on Patreon over to their Shopify store, and it's been a game changer for the band. They wanted to get closer to their fans, integrate their fan club relationships into their entire marketing efforts and flow. Emails, shop discounts, fan clubs, not just be an isolated island like we talked about where fan relationships and experiences are just scattered across the internet on platforms that you don't own. Now they have their own hub where they can drop exclusive merch, host intimate live streams, and offer all kinds of unique perks just for their community. And because it is their own site that they completely control, they own those fan relationships, those analytics, and can truly understand their fans so they know how to reach them better and serve them better to grow their fandom for the long haul. I know the whole idea of launching your own fan club might sound intimidating, especially if you're used to the whole plug-and-play setup of Patreon. But here's the thing, it's a lot easier than you might think. With an e-commerce platform like Shopify, you can create a professional-grade website really in no time. They offer free themes that you could 100% customize and have an entire app ecosystem surrounding them so that you could easily start selling merch with no upfront costs, as well as plug in apps like Single, which gives you all the features you need to build a killer direct-to-fan experience, from exclusive content, live streams, to fan subscriptions, and digital downloads in your store. Now, I know you might be thinking this all sounds great, Sam, but how do I even get started? I did lay out some options, but the key here is to start small and think big. Every day, just focus on taking one tiny step towards owning your audience. Maybe it's running a contest through your email list to hype up your new release, hosting a little live stream in your web store to connect directly with fans and maybe promote your new album that just dropped. Over time, these small interactions on your own channel, on your own platform like your Shopify store, will add up to serious momentum, like more fan emails and more fan relationships that you 100% own and control. And remember, direct to fan isn't just about memberships or fan clubs. There are plenty of ways to embrace this mindset and approach to building fan relationships that aren't dependent on platforms. Take Victory Boyd, for example. When she put out new music, she streamed an impromptu rooftop concert from her iPhone right to her Shopify store. This turned a one-time in real-life event into something for everyone. Fans globally were able to tune in. They were able to buy merch and music if they wanted to. In addition to that, by hopping in the chat during that live stream performance, Victory was able to capture more fan emails and fan data that she just wouldn't have gotten if she streamed that from Instagram or TikTok. This is the kind of thing that's just not possible when you do stuff like this on platforms, on social media, or like Patreon. So if you're an artist, don't limit yourself to platforms that you don't own. Use some of these examples as inspiration for maybe doing a fan club, or if you're not ready quite yet, you can still take steps and work work towards that. Let that mindset of building direct connections really infiltrate everything you do as an artist. That doesn't mean you can't post things to YouTube, but it means you could premiere things early in your store to start building fan relationships on a platform that you 100% own and control. If you want more tips for getting started in this space, don't hesitate to reach out. We've got resources and real world examples linked below. But for now, that's it. I'll see you next time.